जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरा
वनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय
राधा माधव
कुंज बिहारी।
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन
वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन
रंजन।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Give me once.
अरे कोई भी ना आया वहाँ.
We have Shashi Rani here. Hare Krishna Mataji. We'll do our duty.
Yes, yes. We are not doing for others. The point is we are doing for ourselves. We have to purify ourselves.
Correct.
So we should not become disheartened.
No, we really need this.
Prabhupada said if nobody is there, you just chant. There are a lot of microbes in the air who will get the benefit from the vibration.
And first is ourselves only. If we try to chant and remember Krishna, we are purifying ourselves. So that
We
is
need
also
food for our souls.
correct. Yes, yes.
So let's begin.
I'll today third chapter, Karma Yoga.
Ah.
I'll just go with the thread of the conversation, so that way it will make sense. So in the second chapter, Krishna concluded by
I want to
saying,
start with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya because you didn't put the other.
इसको गरम लगाते हैं ना.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वंदेहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं साजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Welcome to the ones who are in YouTube also. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so the conclusion of second chapter was Krishna explained how to engage in Buddhi Yoga by surrendering onto Krishna. Work should be performed like that. So now here, we all hear the similar kind of things when we have problems. So first thing everybody gets, especially if they are pious and some nice background they have, the first thing they will think is, छोड़ो यार ये सब छोड़ के, we'll go to some ashram. Janjati na chahiye, right? We all think like that. So you won't believe Arjuna said the same thing. He said, but Krishna, you're saying Buddhi or, Buddhi Yoga is nice, engage your intelligence and such things. So why bother with this ghastly war of killing people? So he found one more reason why not to fight. After hearing the entire second chapter, he is telling, okay, so now there's no need to fight. You only are telling, right? It's better to engage in Buddhi Yoga. So why don't I do that? So people generally have the same attitude. But immediately Krishna will refute that. And he gives us, of course, this Karma Yoga is something where the entire country, as a Hindu culture, we are all stuck up in this chapter only. Some have understood, some have not understood, some have quasi-understood, some have understood in a way that whatever suits them, they will take it in that manner, like that. But in general, maximum population is stuck at Karma Yoga. But there is a lot of depth in this Karma Yoga itself. We'll try to see some of the key points, what Krishna is talking about, how to do karma. So, he's asking this question. So please, he's also being sincere. He said, okay, now I'm confused. Buddhi Yoga is better or fighting is better? You please clarify. So he's asking, first two slokas is that. Then Krishna introduced a lot of concepts, right? So now he's separating both the concepts. He's saying, basically, there are two ways of engaging your mind. One is through empirical knowledge, and one is through philosophical speculation. So basically, he's separating them out by saying all the other yoga system is dealing with body-mind control. But the other process is by directly engaging in Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. He will not see here, Krishna is not telling directly, I am God, you serve me. He's not told yet because he's still introducing the concepts. So he doesn't directly tell, I am only Bhagavan, you worship me only, you serve me only, you work for me only. He does not tell like that. But he will introduce all that from 7th chapter. Until now, he's just telling, you have to do work. So now he's telling, not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one achieve perfection. So what he's trying to say is, suppose you are thinking you will give up all this work, this fighting and all that, all your work, your household work, your job, everything, and then I'll take sannyas. That's what most people think. But Krishna is saying, no, you cannot do that. Because you have not purified your senses. Because in second chapter, he's telling you have to perform yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and learn how to withdraw the senses, like the tortoise. when there is danger, how tortoise knows how to withdraw senses. Like that, you have not purified. When you see nice sense objects around you, you don't know how to withdraw your senses. You have not trained yourself. So you cannot suddenly go and take sannyas. So the organization previously, the Sanatan Dharma, the way it was set up was through Varnashrama. Varnashrama means there is Brahmacharya, there is Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and once the citizens are purified in this way, then finally they enter into sannyasa ashram. That's the normal way. But then the entire system of Varnashrama is to engage everybody in their respective nature of work. Whatever nature of work they want to do, they can do. They are engaged in that manner. So that way they get purified. But as we discussed, today Varnashrama is perverted. It has become a caste system. Varnashrama is never a caste system. Varnashrama is simply a division of labor as per your prakriti, guna. So here Krishna is explaining again in the 5th chapter or 5th sloka that you will be forced to work because by prakriti you got a machine. This body is like a machine. It will work. It will work according to the gunas that you have acquired. You cannot stop working. Even if you are a very learned man, you will work. So the same way, even Arjuna, if you are thinking, you will go to forest. By your nature, you are a Kshatriya. You will want to protect dharma. That's your nature. So if you see adharma there, you will fight there also. So might as well you fight here, engage in your own nature and fight here. So Krishna is telling why he should not take sannyas and abruptly. Abruptly, nobody should. In fact, sannyas is not recommended for Kali Yuga. Nobody is qualified for sannyas. But Prabhupada encouraged devotees to be a brahmachari, but not actually sannyasi. When you see devotees wearing saffron robes, they did not take sannyas. They have taken brahmacharya. So that is different from sannyas. So for preaching purposes, they have taken saffron color, that's all. But otherwise, that saffron robes in itself does not mean they have accepted sannyas. So Prabhupada gave this as per Bhakti Siddhanta's instruction. That is for, letting people know that we are dedicated ourselves in the preaching activities. So that saffron color is given, but they're just brahmacharis only. So that is why a brahmachari is always allowed, after good training, he can accept grahastha ashram. So you find also devotees getting married and having children, etc. later. So now he's clarifying here, if you abruptly go and take sannyas, but you have not learned to control your mind, and what happens, this becomes a disturbance in the society. And they are called also a mithyachari. Mithyachari means a pretender. For namesake, you have become a sannyasi, but in your mind, you are only thinking of sense gratification. So such type of sannyas is what is creating a mockery in the society today. So many people, you go to Haridwar and Rishikesh and all these holy places, you'll see so many people wearing saffron and begging and then smoking ganja and doing all nonsense. So such things are not actually allowed. Krishna is not actually encouraging here. See, it's called mithyachari. Mithyacharasya uchyate. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyacharasa uchyate. So, for namesake, you are controlling your senses only for showing to the public. But in your mind, you are completely engaged in sense gratification. That is not encouraged. That is why rather one should actually perform their duty. Because anyway, even to maintain yourself, you have to perform duty. So you rather perform your duty. So now Krishna is saying how you should work, how you should do your duty. This is the concept he is introducing here. Yajñātāt karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samacharam. Means all the work has to be done only for Vishnu. If you do any work which is not for the satisfaction of Vishnu, that work will bind you. Anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. This is very, very significant in this chapter. In fact, this 9th sloka, you have to by heart this. Later, you'll find this exact same sloka, like I told you. Krishna could have told, Yajñārtat karmano anyatra, he's telling. Instead, he could have told, you should work for me. He did not tell. But same sloka you'll find in 7th chapter. He'll tell, Yad karoshi, yad juhoshi, yad dadasi, yad tapasyasi kaunteya mad arpanam. That directly he says the same thing. But he says directly for me. But here he's only introducing Karma Yoga. So you cannot stop at this chapter and think I am becoming a Karma Yogi. But you have not understood the depth of this meaning. So here Krishna is saying Yajna means Yajna is for Vishnu only. Nobody else. Yajna is for Vishnu, for Krishna. You have to perform work only for Krishna. Nobody else. Just like I give the example of working in a corporate office. Moment you join the corporate office, there's a lot of training material they'll give you. All the work that you do is confidential. You cannot share this work material to anybody else, because if you even share the work also what you're doing, it is considered a felony, and so many problems are there for you. You can even lose your job for doing such things. Why? Because they're training you that everything that you do here in this corporate office belongs to the corporate, not to you. Even though you are working, even though you are given in charge of certain things, it does not belong to you. It belongs to the corporate. They're giving you such training. In fact, first 1 or 2 weeks is all that training only. How you should not divulge, you should not use even the computer that they give you also for your personal use. Nothing like that. They train you so much. So when Krishna created this world also, he has introduced all these sacrifices. He has given a lot of facilities. Even in the work, they give a lot of facilities. There is so much food, canteen, so many things. You can hear from not all the offices have like that, but you see in Google, Facebook, all these big companies, they have a lot of facilities. In fact, they will also do your laundry and all that. You don't have to do any work at home. Such things, facilities are provided. Why? So that you dedicate yourself completely to the corporate. Like that, Krishna is also providing a lot of facilities in this world for us. But the idea is all that you use for Krishna, not for yourself. So that is the main crux of this point. And you see the next sloka itself, Krishna is saying, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigod along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So, if you remember, a lot of people might have read the book called Thank You. You have to say thank you. Moment you say thank you to everything that you receive in your life, you will get a lot of prosperity. Those who are familiar with that book will know that. Basically, that is the same 10th chapter, 10th sloka. That book is expanded on that. So Krishna is training everybody. You have to say thank you for whatever you are receiving in this world. To live in this world, so many gifts that you got. First is the sunlight, the air, the water, everything. These are basic things to live, right? So all the things when you get, you have to say thank you. What is the deeper meaning of saying thank you? What is the deeper meaning of saying thank you? Means you are acknowledging that somebody is giving them to you and you are receiving it. You are basically, first point is you understand that somebody else is giving and you are receiving. That is why you said thank you and you are grateful for those gifts. Now, if you don't say thank you, what happens? You take it for granted. उसको करना ही चाहिए. Why he should not give? I deserve. Just like children, if they don't say thank you, then they will think they have a right to demand from their parents. They become proud. They become arrogant. Like that, we also. Today, all the husband, wife, quarrels, so many things, everybody, why it is happening like that? Because both of them take each other for granted. That's his job. He has to do. But no, everybody has to say thank you because nobody is a servant of other person. We are all servants of Krishna. We work in cooperation. We are working cooperatively, collaboratively towards that yajna, towards serving Krishna. But you have to learn to say thank you for everything. Just like, for example, I come to your house. I see so many nice things are there. I will only take what I like from your house. And only one thing I will not do. I will not inform you and I'll go away. What am I called? Thief. Right? Because I just took whatever I want and I went away. So I'm a thief. So the same way, if you don't know to say thank you for all the gifts that Krishna has provided, and he has put all the demigods in charge of providing these gifts to us, we are also being a thief. That's what Krishna says here. So, in fact, Krishna says, some people think, I'm being a vegetarian. I'm a very nice person. So Krishna says, even if you are a vegetarian, if you are preparing all the goods, foodstuffs for your satisfaction of your tongue, then also you are verily eating sin. You are eating only sin. Because you have actually taken away, you are stolen the resources given by God. You might say, no, I didn't steal, I paid money for it. You might say that. But you have not, nobody has acknowledged that Krishna is a supplier. Krishna is a supplier. That is what Krishna is actually trying to teach here. All the demigods are made in charge, and if you want all these supplies, you have to actually approach the devatas or at least give them thank you. But here, the Vedic sacrifices are made in such a way, even if you have to say thank you to the demigods also, you have to acknowledge they are subordinate to Vishnu. They are only collecting those prayers or sacrifices on behalf of Vishnu. Like, for example, if you say Indraya Namaha, you don't say Indraya Namaha. You say Om Indraya Namaha, Om Chandraya Namaha, Om Suryaya Namaha. That Om is his boss. That's Krishna. Krishna is a boss. So for my boss, I'm collecting it from you. That's sacrifice. So that is how they say. And all the Vedic sacrifices and injunctions are designed that way. But of course, when you worship Krishna directly, then there is no need to bother to go to each and every demigod to conduct that worship. You are exempt. You are exempt from worshipping all the devatas. Look at this sloka. 13. Yagnasishtashino shanto Muchyante sarvakil vishe bhunjate tva agam papam ye pachanti atmakarana. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense gratification verily eat only sin. So, this is the cultivation. The culture is made in such a way that all these instructions are automatically imbibed into our life. Like, for example, we have to establish and understand ourselves that we are servant of God. That's our original nature. But right now we are thinking we are the masters. So how do you change that attitude? Just like when you have all the food, everything cooked inside, suppose you have a maid also in the house. When should the maid eat the food? When we all finish eating. What is left over, you give to the maid. Like that, when you prepare all the food, you should understand, first you offer to the boss, the supreme lord of the house, who is Vishnu. So you prepare everything very nicely. He is the first person in the house to eat. Just like we, like the servant maids, we have to wait for the master to finish eating, and then whatever is remaining, we eat. So, and how do we know the Lord has eaten? So the Lord is very kind. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti. Meaning, all the senses of the Lord are each one, like for example, with our eyes, we can only see. We cannot do other activities. We cannot smell, we cannot hear, we cannot do other things with the eyes. But with Krishna's senses, each sense can do all the activities. With Krishna's eyes, he can eat. With Krishna's eyes, he can procreate. With Krishna's eyes, he can do all the activities. The same way, when Krishna, when he's breathing, actually it is said, through Krishna's breathing, all the Vedas came out from his breathing. Isn't it interesting? So Krishna, when he's seeing the food that you're offering through the deity form, he's actually eating. But then your plate is still full. Why is that? So then what happens? Krishna is very kind. The spiritual equation is 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnameva Visishyate. So even if 1 is removed from the 1, Krishna can still keep the 1 as it is full. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. That is why your plate is still full. But the difference is now that plate, before when you offered, it was just bhoga. But now when you take that plate, it becomes prasad. The same prasad, we all know, the whole world knows. This prasad, something special. That's why Christians are scared. Oh, we can do anything in a Hindu's house. Don't eat their prasad. Something will happen to you. You will change. Actually, they don't eat. And they are true. In fact, if you keep eating prasad, you will become a devotee. That's the secret. And Prabhupada said these are, nice gulab jamun. He taught all the Western devotees how to make gulab jamun. And he said, these are ISKCON bullets. Don't worry. If people want to eat greedily, no problems. Feed them, because they don't know. One day they'll explode and they'll become a devotee of Krishna. That's the power, because Krishna is eating that food and it's like juta. It's Krishna's juta. So when it's Krishna's juta, when you eat, then what happens? You will get Krishna's bhakti, the same qualities of Krishna. That is why Krishna prasadam. If you continuously eat only Krishna prasadam, regulate yourself and not eat anything else, you will be surprised. Your tongue will become purified. It's called Vak Shuddhi. Then to chant the holy name of the Lord, you will not have any hesitation. Right now you see so many people, you tell them chant, 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 they'll say can't. They cannot. Actually, they cannot chant. And same thing with Narad Muni when he met Valmiki before. He was Ratnakar. He told him, chant Ram's name. Even Ram's name, Hare Krishna is too big. He said only Ram's name. He could not chant. Rama, he could not say. Only Marna, he knows. Oh, he only knows to kill. So he could not chant. So when you eat only prasadam, that's the magic will happen. Now here you see, he's giving the logic. What is the logic? Krishna is telling, Annad bhavanti bhutani pajjanyad anna sambhavaha. Yagnad bhavati pajjanyo yagna karma samudbhavaha. So anyway, if you want to sustain yourself, you need annam, your grains. How do grains come? From rains. How do rains come? From yajna. So if you stop yajna, then rain will stop, and then grain will stop, and then you have to fight with each other and kill each other. So Krishna made a system. Yajna will come. When you perform yajna, all the demigods are happy. They send rains. Not abruptly, exactly at the right season. Now we messed up the entire system of environment also. The rains, if they come too much and they spoil the crop, and they come at a wrong time. That is also bad. Look at this. Now, karma brahmodbhavam viddhi, brahmakshara samudbhavam, tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitham. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Brahmaksharam Samudbhavam. So, first in the introduction class, I think somebody asked the question, so why are we reading Bhagavad Gita? So, it's not man-made. This Bhagavad Gita is not written by any human. Clearly, Krishna is saying, Brahmaksharam Samudbhavam. It is coming from him directly through the breathing process. So from Krishna's breathing process, it's coming. And of course, here Krishna directly is speaking Bhagavad Gita. So even before this, all the Vedas were already present. It's just like when the creation is there, already the manual is already there along with the creation. So like that, it is there. So prescribed duties are also karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. They are also directly enunciated by the Supreme Lord only directly. These regulated activities, whatever you are supposed to do, are given in the Vedas. Meaning the Varnashrama dharma is already prescribed. It is not for animals. Varnashrama is not there for animals. It's only for humans. And then here, that's the next sloka itself, Krishna is saying. So this is meant for the human life cycle, the sacrifices. And those who do not follow this, definitely they are incurring sin. Sin simply means you're binding yourself into action and reaction. That's what Krishna does not want you to do. Just like we were talking about the example of a web, spider web. Moment you enter into it, whether you try to come out of it or you want to stay inside it, the web will catch you. You cannot take it out of it. So like that, karma will bind you into this world through another birth and death, like that. So here Krishna is saying, he's giving a clue. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. So this is akarma. Though that person, he has understood how to conduct himself. For him, actually there is no duty to perform. Such a person can take sannyas. Until you have not purified or come to this platform, you cannot take sannyas. And such person also has no duty to perform. So when you have no duty to perform, still you have to perform duty. Why? Because if you don't perform duty, people are actually always looking at the leaders. Yad yad acharati sreshtas tatat evataro janaha tatat sayat paramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Yad yad acharati sreshtas tadat evataro janaha sayat paramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So whatever standard the great man sets, the common man follow. We have another saying for the same sloka, Yada Raja Tada Praja. Whatever the king does, all the citizens will do the same thing. Right? So if the king is corrupt, then rest of the country completely corrupt. That's what happened to India. We have seen only the corrupt government, then everybody is thinking, oh, no problem, we also can do corruption. But if the king is very strict, being a very good devotee, then all the people will become devotees very easily. See, one Ashoka is only one person, king. He took to Buddhism. Then the entire country became, not only the entire country, he spread it to China, all our neighborhood countries also. So one king, if he becomes Krishna conscious, the whole world will become Krishna conscious. Here, the previous sloka, he says, even great kings like Janaka, they don't have any duty to perform, but still they are performing only for the sake of educating the public. And he gives another logic here. Now, what did Arjuna say? He did not want to fight. He wanted to get out of the duty. And he thought, if I am fighting, there is sin. Is incurring sin. So now Krishna will tell, see, even I, as a creator of this universe, I don't have any duty to perform. But still, I also perform duty. Why? If I do not perform duty, I would be the cause of creating a sinful society. Because people also become, they will not perform their duty and they will only commit sins. So then I will become the cause of creating sinful society. Hence, I want you as a king. People are already looking upon you as a great king. You're a great archer. You're a great everything. Arjuna is a great personality. So if Arjuna escapes his duty, that is bad. And hence, Arjuna should set a correct standard of fighting. Then the rest of the population will also do their own duty. So even if you are not purified, if you are not purified, you have to do your duty to purify yourself. Now, if you purified yourself completely and you have no obligation to do duty, still you have to do your duty for the sake of teaching people. So both ways you have to do your duty. In other words, you cannot escape fighting. Here Krishna is saying, just that you do not disrupt the minds of ignorant people who are very attached to fruitive results. You should not disturb them like that. Let them induce them. Otherwise, they cannot handle it. You should only teach them the spirit of devotion and engage them in such type of activities. So Krishna, there's stages. In stages, you have to take them. So he's introducing how Karma Yoga is one ladder. So when people are not purified in their senses, you let them engage in Karma Yoga. So before Karma Yoga, what happens? People are very miserly. So whatever work they do, that fruit of the result, they are very attached to that. If they get money or whatever they get, they're very attached. So the first recommendation is at least encourage them to do dana. So when they do some dana, charity, then the little bit of attachment will decrease. But a higher level, the next level is that to teach them actually nothing belongs. They have to work in such a way that they should not be attached to the result at all. That is nishkama karma. You're working, the fruit is there, but you're not worried about the fruit. So that is nishkama. I'm not worried about the fruit of my work. That is also not the highest. Nishkama karma is also not the highest. Bhagavatam says, Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. Meaning, when you compare work which is performed for achyuta bhava varjitam compared to Naishkarmyam, Naishkarmyam does not look great at all. But it is still great for a person who is very attached for all the results of the work. So that is encouraged. And how do you know, how do you become detached from this kind of attitude that fruit belongs to me? So Krishna explains how you can become detached from that idea. If you understand how this Prakriti is working, Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatva kartaham iti manyate. So, because you are thinking karta aham iti manyate, you are thinking I am the doer. Just like, for example, if you cook a meal, before and after, very little contribution you have. For cooking the meal, all the ingredients that you want, how did you get that? I know one simple answer, go to Walmart and buy. Not that. They themselves don't have that. They are getting from somewhere. Where are they getting from? All the fruits, vegetables, milk, ghee, everything. It's not manufactured by anybody. It's provided by nature. So, even to put the meal together, the previous work was not done by us. And after you eat the meal, can you do anything? You have any control over it? The food goes inside, it digests, it becomes into protein, and whatever it breaks down into all the minerals goes into your bloodstream, it becomes energy, all that. That also you don't have anything to do. But a little bit you did cooking, meaning you just assembled something in the kitchen and prepared a meal. How much credit can you take for it? Very little. Like that, every single work, if you carefully analyze, just like a gardener, a farmer, how much work does he actually do? Actually, if you don't do any work also, nature will do it. The tree is growing, the fruits are coming, their bees are coming, pollinating, they are doing something. And then the another flower or something is falling on the ground. There is another seed inside that is growing, that grows into another tree. All that is happening automatically. Even if you don't do, you see Amazon forest and big forest, whatever you want, it is growing there. You need timber, you need this, you need that, your food, anything, your berries, fruits, everything is growing on its own. Chalo, let's say you did some farming work also. Still, how much credit can you take for it? You can't do anything with the seed also. Seed also is collected by the trees only. Everything is embedded. Inside the seed only, there is a tree again. So you cannot do anything other than put some water and soil. Beyond that, nothing else you can do. For that, how much credit can you do? Prakriti is performing there also. Let's say, no, I have did my job and I got some salary. Okay, even if you take that also, in the workplace, if you go, there are 1,000, 2,000 people working in that company. How much work that you did really contributes to the final work? 1 divided by 1,000 or 2,000 work. That's all it is. Because everybody is working. For that, you get some salary. So you cannot claim that work also you did. Even if you are a manager, at whatever level you are, you did only that much work only. So that also you didn't do all the work. So work is happening on its own and we are taking pride that we are the achievers of that work. We want to take claim of that and thinking, I am the doer. For every work that we do, we are thinking, I am the doer. In reality, we cannot do anything. We can do very little. Our work, our contribution is very little. So those who know this science, so they will not be proud. If you don't know this science, you'll be proud for every small thing. You can be proud for anything actually. I get small, something I can talk little nicely, I'm proud. I drive a car, I'm proud. You know, in India, you have auto rickshaws. Auto rickshaw fellow also, he'll be proud. My auto, sir, is very good. I have this bells. I have a mirror in my auto. I have a FM radio in my auto. Something he'll show and he'll be very proud of it. Everybody is proud of whatever little we have. Because we do not know the big picture. And here Krishna is saying here, the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself to be the doer of the activities, which in reality is correct. So this sloka is also worth by hearting. 27. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. So, those who know this secret will not want to engage their senses in sense gratification because they know the difference between work in devotion and work in fruitive activities. So, the same work of cooking and same work of eating. One work of cooking for the pleasure of our tongue and eating causes sin, and the same work of cooking and offering it to Krishna and eating that as prasadam, honoring as prasadam, is liberation. It's the same work. Everything is same, but the activity is done in a different way. Just like Prabhupada also gave this nice example. Suppose there is a $100 bill on the floor. As you're walking, you found $100 bill. So moment somebody finds it, what he'll do? He'll look this side, that side, nobody is watching. Take the $100, put it in his pocket. And he's very smiling. So we all know what he is trying to do with it. He wants to enjoy that $100. But there is a second person who sees the same $100. And he's little jnani. Last time he tried to do that. But then before he trying to enjoy that $100, somebody came, they made a claim, oh, that's not yours, mine. A lot of fight happened. All janjat, why? No need. Because I touched that $100, there's a problem. And he walked away without touching it. So first person is seeing, oh, this guy saw $100 and he's not touching it. He should be a yogi. Great guy. If it was me, I would have grabbed it. That's what first person is thinking. And there is a third person who will come and look at the same $100 and he'll see here, there. He sees nobody is there. Then he'll still pick up the $100 only to give it to the nearest police or whoever is there. Maybe you can find the owner and pass it on. You give it away. So the first person is thinking, this guy also picked up. Oh, that means he's like me only. He's going to take it and enjoy. But he does not know the next action. He is not trying to pick up that $100 for himself. He wanted to give it to the owner of it. So he looks like a karmi. But he's not like yogi looks better because he did not touch it. But a bhakta is somebody who's not renouncing. He's not like a sannyasi. He's not given up anything. And he's engaged in the activities, same like a karmi, but he's better than a yogi. Because the yogi has artificially given up his duty. But a devotee knows his duty and he's performing it not for the pleasure of his senses. This is work. This type of work is not popular. This type of work has to be performed under the guidance and supervision of a pure devotee. Then, even if you engage in your family activities, raising children, working in a job, everything else becomes completely spiritual activity. You don't have to take sannyas to be a spiritual yogi. This is a bhakti yogi. So that type of yoga system, Krishna is wanting us to learn. That is the type of karma that we have to perform. That is real karma yoga. That is Naishkarma is not really yoga. Naishkarma is half of karma yoga. You have only learned how to detach from the fruit of the result, but you did not know how to give the fruit to Krishna. To the owner, you did not know how to give. So Naishkarmyam is only half the work. Nishkama karma is only half the work. I hope this concept is clear. Okay, those who execute their duties according to my injunctions, who follow this teaching faithfully without envy, become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. So the important point here is to become free from envy. The original root cause of all our existence in this world is because we are envious of Krishna. We are envious of Krishna. Why Krishna is a supreme controller, supreme Lord? I can also be like that, independent of Krishna, independent of God. I can also be like that. So moment we think like that, God is very kind. He wants to satisfy our tantrum also. So, okay, no problem. I will create a situation for you because he's God, he's so great. Parasya Saktir Vividheva Shruyate. He has so many energies, so much opulence he has. Through one of his energy, he created this Prakriti, Maya. And then he told all of us, each one of us want to be a Lord. So you become small Lord, I become big Lord based on our karma. How much ever we understand the laws of nature, that much you can become Swami. Such big Swami you can become. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings, do not follow the rules and regulations, to be considered bereft of knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So no matter how much somebody tries to become perfect in this world, but does not care for Krishna's instructions and does not even care to even say thank you for all the gifts that we are receiving. Even somebody is into manufacturing, any manufacturing in this world, all the minerals, all the resources that he needs, again Krishna has to supply. Even if you want to make iron ore, whatever you need, without iron ore you can't make iron. Without iron you cannot make a car. Like that, anything that you want to make in this world, you need again resources supplied by God. Even if you want to make a Tesla car, you need battery. Battery means lithium. Lithium means again back to the earth. You need lithium ion. So you don't have that, you cannot do anything. So you have to learn to say thank you. People are very demoniac. They think, oh, this resource is over, now I'll go to Mars and I will start mining there and I will bring everything. So it doesn't work like that. But demoniac people, they think they can exploit more and more and more and more. Like Hiranyaksha, he thought, I can also grab entire earth only, earth planet, and I'll steal the earth planet. He thought like that. So people try. Ravanasura thought, there is no need to worship anybody. I can only make an elevator directly to Swargaloka. I'll send all my people of Sri Lanka just by that elevator. He could not finish. So it is by far better to perform your prescribed duties, even though there is some fault. And you might be better at doing some other duty better. So Krishna says, no, even if it is with fault, do your own, whatever is prescribed duty, you do that. That's enough. But again, that is not there. That Varnashrama system is not there right now. So no matter whatever our condition is, we can all be engaged in devotional service under the direction of a pure devotee. So now Arjuna is asking a very important question. So what is it that makes us perform sinful activity even though if we don't feel like doing it? Sometimes we don't feel like doing, but somebody is forcing us, just like somebody is pushing you from a top of the building. You don't like to fall down, but somebody is pushing you. What is that pushes us? What is it that is pushing us and making us trying to do the sin? So Krishna explains here, it is kama. Kama, this is also very important sloka. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhi enam iha vairinam. So, what is it that is making us do the sin? It is kama. Kama means lust. And how does lust come? We have discussed in the second chapter, 63 and 64. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangas sanghayate kama. How does it come? From sangat sanjayate kama. By association, by constant association. Dhyayate, dhyanam, just like meditation. You do meditation like that. Go on meditating on anything. That makes it develop into kama. I want it now. That is how kama comes. And that Krishna is saying here as an enemy. Why he uses the word enemy? Because Arjuna is a soldier. He knows how to treat an enemy. How will you treat an enemy? Come, sir, sit in the sofa. I'll give you chai, coffee, samosa. Will you tell to your enemy? You'll not do that. So, moment you say enemy, you become alert. And how does the enemy come? He'll come from the front door. No, he'll come very stealthily. You can't even tell where he's coming, how he's coming. And what does he do? If enemy comes, if you let enemy come inside, what will he do? He'll plunder whatever is there, riches inside your house, he'll plunder and take away. Correct? Well, that is the reason he's coming. But you might think, I don't have any riches, I'm not so rich. What is he going to steal from me? You might think like that. But no, this karma, what is it stealing from us? Our beautiful human form. It's very, very rare. This rare gift of human life, it is going to steal from us. It is going to make you work like a donkey to satisfy the base desires of these senses. Just to make you happy with the senses, satisfy the senses, this karma will make you work like a donkey and it is stealing away all your valuable human life. That it is stealing. Hence, you have to treat it as vairinam, as the greatest enemy. So, because the moment you see it as an enemy, then you know how to defeat it. So, Krishna is saying this enemy, this karma, can cover the person in various degrees. Your intelligence is covered in various degrees, karma. So, the example is given, just like fire is covered by smoke. Even though smoke is there, there is some idea that you can actually see the smoke. Sometimes it is covered, but you can see. That is like sattva guna. And sometimes the mirror is covered by dust. But with a little cleansing of the mirror, you can still see yourself again in the mirror. So that's like rajoguna. But embryo in the womb is like helpless. You cannot do anything. So kama covers so much in tamoguna that you cannot do anything. So the kama also covers at different degrees. So if it is rajoguna and tamoguna, maybe rajoguna there is little hope. Sattva is not a problem because if you make the fire little bigger, then immediately all the smoke will disappear and fire will come. Very easy to establish the fire again. So sattva guna is very easy. But rajoguna and tamoguna is very difficult. But whatever condition is, the holy name of Krishna is so powerful in Kali Yuga. Kaler dosha nide rajan asti hi ekad mahad gunan kirtanadeva krishnasya nama mukta sangha param vrajet. So you can still become completely perfect just by taking the holy names of Krishna. So just few more slokas, I think will be done. So here Krishna is saying how actually the matter is very dull. Matter is inert. It cannot do anything. And superior to that matter is our senses. Superior to our senses is the mind, and superior to our mind is the buddhi, that intelligence. But in the contaminated stage, what is happening? The dull matter is controlling even our buddhi. Buddhi brushed ho raha hai. Buddhi nash ho raha hai because of kama. So here Krishna is saying what you should do. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. This is the conclusion of 13th chapter. So I'll stop here. Anybody has questions, I can take. No questions?
Thank you so much. You took us through this Bhagavatam so easily and making us understand so easily. It's really amazing. I don't think anyone has explained so well and so easily. Thank you so much for everything. Stay blessed always.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I would like to ask one question, a very
Sure.
small question. Suppose, like you gave an example that if we find the 100 rupee bill, I mean $100 bill on the road, and at times we have different views whether to keep it for ourselves or to give it to the,
Owner.
somebody who owns it, owner of it.
Mhm.
So how are we going to find out? Because from childhood, we have been giving this type of training that either you don't pick up the rupee or the currency found, or if we ever find it, it's inbuilt. We generally, if we pick it up, we give it in the temple. We don't use it for ourselves. The best thing is to give in the temple donation box.
Going to the temple is a good idea. That is the owner. He is a real
That
owner.
we have been doing from childhood only, and this is what we have taught our younger children also. That if you find any note on the road or side, either don't pick it up, or if you have really found it in the school campus and you are unable to find out, then put it in the donation box in the temple. So, is it the right thing that we are doing?
Yeah, it's the right thing in the sense that the whole point here is to understand everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to God. That's the whole point.
Then I think it is justified, because to
Yes.
find out the owner of the currency, that is difficult.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right. If there is.
I think nobody else has any other questions, so we can stop the class here and we'll have our regular class tomorrow. I'm putting the live off.